Hello, and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 3 stream. My name is Adam. I'm the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with the 2019 Detroit Red Wings. We are in the playoffs, playing
Finally.
our most favorite team that we never lose to. Right, Jeff? Right?
We almost beat them in a playoff series once, or I think, if you consider going to like 6 games, almost beating them.
If you've been tuning into
But that wasn't even in this series of games.
Yeah, if you've been tuning into our streams, you know that Toronto has kind of been the bane of just about our entire stream. Even when we were playing as them, they weren't really doing that well for us. But
and when we play against them, they beat us by scores of 10-0 and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. So let's take one step back, and we'll start off by looking at our development report for March, because as you can see now, it's now April 15th. I simmed ahead from the last game because, well, it was time to, we said some things are coming up that we, want to keep everything moving. So you can see just about everybody's going up, which is great. But we have Patrick Hornquist, who's not going to be on the team next year, has went down. Henrik Zetterberg has unfortunately dropped to 2.5 stars. But he has improved by 2 points, and he's gone from a negative to a positive. So overall, I'd say that's a pretty good season for a 38-year-old, Jeff?
Two statistical points, not 2 points in his ratings.
Yes,
he was at 39 points last year. He was back up to 41, so
yeah. And
he's not what he used to be, but at least he's sort of leveled off in the decline right now. So hopefully he's good for another season or two, because we're paying him $6 million for another 2 years after this one.
Yeah. A couple other guys to note. We have a couple top prospects who I kind of want to take a quick look at here. We have, of course, Joey Veleno. He only played in 22 games this season, where he scored 51 points in the QMJHL. Unfortunately, he's been out for quite a while, since November, with an irregular heartbeat, which isn't good, but he is just about ready to come back.
Yeah, that's eaten about 2/3 of his season, so he's only played 22 games, and not even sure. I'm just looking right now. Is St. John even in the playoffs in the queue?
I was going to take a look at that. We'll get there.
But they are underway. I'm just looking right now. Okay. And they did not make the playoffs.
Okay, so he's going to be healthy for next year, which we'll probably need, because we're going to get into a bit of a salary cap problem. But we also we signed.
Oh no! Wait, I'm wrong. They did make the playoffs. I was looking at the wrong thing.
We signed this guy named Nando Eggenberger, who we drafted at pick 84. So that's the 3rd round pick. He's 1.5, or sorry, 1 potential 3. One ability, 3 potential. And he was playing for HC Davos. We brought him over to the QMJHL, and he literally tore the league up. In 64 games played, he had 121 points with 154 penalty minutes.
And I just noticed now plus 60.
Yeah, and a plus 60 rating. So he's doing pretty well. And we might need him scoring on our team next year. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, not bad for a guy who we basically picked up because he had a funny name.
I looked at, if you remember, I said I wanted this guy. Sweet name. What a good 3rd round pick. All right, so other couple things happened. We could see Tarasenko got hurt right at the end of the year, but he's back, healthy now, just in time for playoffs. Injury list. Pavel Datsyuk is almost ready. He's a day-to-day. Jeff, do you think we should bring him back or let him get healthy?
Let's see. What are you right on the first game of the playoffs right now, or?
Yeah. We're waiting.
Let's see. I think you got to bring him back.
Yeah. Well,
you're playing Adam Lowry if you don't put him in.
All right. That's coming back to the active roster, and you can see our great trade deadline pickup. Tyler Toffoli decided to be hurt for a month or 2 months, which
Yep, we got exactly 2 games, and how many minutes did he manage to play? About 20 minutes out of them after the trade deadline.
Yeah, 11:47 or 11:45. Yes, average time on ice. So yeah, that made me super happy. Gudu's in the chat. Hi, Gudu. Thanks for coming. Okay, so now we have a roster problem here. We have to send somebody down.
And I'm thinking probably Shnikov, the rookie. Unless, no, you don't want to. You want to keep your veterans in, I think, in the playoffs. Yeah, I think it's got to be Svechnikov unless you want to move Adam Lowry.
Nah, he's going to stay. We might move Adam Lowry in the offseason. Again, we'll
or actually, no, we've got extra. I didn't see this. We got 8 defensemen. I thought we only had 7 up.
Yeah, we
Brady Shea then.
You know what? I sent Shvenko down because he didn't have to clear waivers. The other guys do. Vili Saviarvi is actually a guy we had, and we traded away for Matt Murray. We got him back on waivers. So, fun fact there. So now we need to redo our strategy. Matt Murray only has 2 fires, which is a little worrisome.
But not too bad. I mean, if it was 0 going into the playoffs, then I'd be a little bit alarmed. But 2's not bad. I mean, at least it's on the right side.
Yeah.
Playing Frederick Anderson in Toronto, he's at 4 right now, though.
We're just moving some guys around. And so it wanted Nico Hischier on the 4th line. I don't like that. He's going to play 3rd line with Tatar and Athanasu. 2nd line, Larkin, Datsuk, Mantha. 1st line is Mozikin, Kuznetsov, Tarasenko. An all Russian 1st line. That's interesting. Very Detroit of us. And our 4th line is...
I'm looking at the Leafs, too, and looks like they're a little thin depth-wise. They've got one big... I mean, the Matthews and Marner line, and Van Riemsdyk's playing with them. So they got one big scoring line, and not a lot after that. D doesn't look that impressive either.
Let me just get a second here, and we'll just pull up the Toronto roster.
Yeah. So if we can shut Matthews down, we got a shot here.
Nylander's hurt. Brew's back day to day, so that's good for us.
Yep.
But they have Frederick Anderson and Ben Bishop. That's a pretty nice 1-2 punch there. Although they're paying...
Not bad.
Paying their goalies almost $7 million.
About $11 million, yeah. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like Bishop had a really shaky 2017-18, and Anderson's...
Okay, they have
want to take it over, okay.
Who split time between the ECHL and the NHL. Interesting. Who's currently playing for them? Mike Fisher is apparently also in Toronto. Interesting.
And for some reason, the Canucks have traded Brock Besser to Toronto. Although I can't complain too much because the Canucks are somehow in 2019 first in their division.
What did they trade him for?
First in the whole Western Conference, actually.
They got Nazem Kadri for him. How did Nazem Kadri do?
Pretty well. Wow, he did really well. 76 points. He had a huge year, yeah.
That would explain why. All right.
And suddenly got tough. 188 penalty minutes, too.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at the final standings here. You can see we finished 3rd in the Atlantic, just behind Toronto and Tampa Bay. Overall, a very good year, considering you have to remember, we finished in last place last year. So I would consider this a huge success.
We did pretty much a really, we had a really efficient approach to this. We got about as close to getting fired as you possibly can.
Yep.
So we had really great draft picks for a couple of years, and now those guys are starting to mature and pay off. And
yep, and we're going to need
as long as
because we brought in some stopgap guys too. So
yep,
we're going to need some of those picks. And we are just taking a quick look here. We have 42 contracts, and we're only losing 3 guys. So it's maybe 2 guys.
Yeah. Although we do need to sign, remember a couple of our draft picks from last year, Rasmus Dahlin, and what was the other one? Oh,
I offered
Wiesner,
him a
the
contract.
German guy.
He didn't sign, so we'll just take that as it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna
Try
play
again
through
next
this
year.
first game. Not sim, because it is. Take game stoppages off, and we'll just play this. But we're gonna sim through this period and Toronto takes a 1-0 lead by your Canuck, Brock Boeser. On the first shot for Toronto. But the good news is Nico Hischier comes down and scores to tie it up, assisted by Maxim Chudinov and Vladimir Tarasenko. But then Mitch Marner comes down and scores. And it's 2-1. And now 3-1. Austin Matthews scores. This is not a good start. And so we're down 3-1. Outshots 8-7 in the first period. Honestly, at this point, I feel our tactics are, kind of very well set. We were playing Fire Wagon hockey, which has turned out really well for us, obviously, and we have a 1-3-1 forecheck, which our team also seems to work fairly well with.
Yeah, I think we finally settled in with the tactics now, and we've got something that's working for us. So as long as the other teams in the league don't start countering that, we're in good shape.
Yeah. Which there might be some as we're getting better.
Yeah, can happen.
Ooh. Justin Schultz is -2. That's part of their problem, as is Tarasenko. And Boeser scores again to make it 4-1.
So this is going away of a typical Leafs game for us now.
Yep. So now, since we're going to happen like this, let's sim through a little bit. I'll take a quick look at strategies. There's nothing really standing out that we should be doing as bad as we are, maybe. Or not as doing as well as we could be.
Yeah, not getting a lot of shots on goal, especially considering our strategy, but probably too early to read anything into that yet.
I'm just making a couple tweaks here since it's 4-1. I mean, what's the worst that happens?
Yeah. If nothing else, get a couple of goals maybe on Anderson and screw up his heat rating a little bit, or at least keep it from rising.
We'll put Brent Burns as a Russian defenseman, as is Cam Fowler.
Yeah. Burns, if you're wondering how he wound up in Detroit, we got him as a free agent at the start of the year.
Yeah. Offensive risk-taking, we're going to go a little bit more high risk since we're down by 3 goals anyways. And maybe turn our tempo up to normal. Alright, let's give this a little bit of a shot. And we score to make it 4-2. Dougie Hamilton gets a goal. Assisted by Chudinov and Lucic.
Yep, Hamilton hasn't really produced a lot of offense this year for us, but
well, he was hurt at the start of the season, if memory serves.
Yeah, still only 26 points in 63 games. You expect a little bit more out of him.
Yeah.
So he had those 40-point years in Calgary and Boston.
And they unfortunately score their 5th goal with just a little under 8 minutes left. Austin Matthews picks up his...
Ouch, that's going to cool down Murray a little.
We're going to just sim to the end of the game, and Van Riemdijk scores, so now it's 6-2. And game over. We get outshot 44-20. Ooh.
Okay, so as far as first playoff games go, that was not a great one.
No, not at all.
So what do we do from here?
Rest, regroup, and see what happens in game 2. Oh, we never looked at all the other teams. Well, you can see here, Winnipeg's playing Dallas, because that's the most important one, right?
Yep. Canucks have got Calgary.
I'll just pull up the standings here and look at the playoffs. So Calgary versus Vancouver, who's up 1-0, Calgary. Edmonton, San Jose, Chicago, Minnesota, Winnipeg, Dallas. In the East, Ottawa, Rangers, Carolina, Washington, Boston, Tampa, and us in Detroit.
5 Canadian teams in the playoffs. Let's see how many are there after the first round.
Well, there's going to be at least one.
We'll get at least one because, unless Calgary and Vancouver somehow finish to boom and somehow figure out how to both lose in the first round.
Well, that's not impossible.
Mm.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to play the second game. We're just going to sim it right through.
Because that's luckier somehow.
And we win 4-1.
Okay, so apparently it is.
Oh, yeah. We
All right.
get outshot 30-28, but Tarasenko scored, Burns scored, Schultz scored, Hornquist scored. Getting goals from everybody, which is what we need. And then Brock Boeser gets the only goal for Toronto. And you doubted my simming.
And we steal home ice advantage, because the series is now down to 5 games, and 3 of those are going to be in Detroit, if we even need that.
Yeah, I guess. You're right. Take a quick look here. We'll have to see. If we go deep enough, we might have to give up our job as Team Belarus.
All right, because you're still running the Belarusian team.
Okay.
And they're about to go into the which level of world championships are they
the
in?
top one still. We'll see. We still got time. Okay, so it is game 3. We're going to sim right through it again, see what happens. And we win 7-4.
Wow. See, now we're usually on the other end of that score when we're playing the Leafs.
33 shots to 21. But we just beat them up. Kuznetsov, assisted by Tarasenko, Hornquist, Zetterberg, Lucic, Mozikin, Tarasenko, Kuznetsov.
Basically, as long as we don't look at the team during the games, they're going to do well.
Apparently. Zetterberg scored again. Got another point. Tarasenko scores. Kuznetsov, Datsuk. The really big thing here, the really big important thing to note, we are getting goal scoring from all 4 lines. And how big is that?
Particularly when you're playing the Leafs, because we said a little earlier that they've got a bit of a problem once you get past the Matthews line.
Yeah. So if we can continue this, that's really good for us. I was
How's it
actually
going?
gonna just take a quick peek at the entry draft log here. Wait, no.
How come?
Okay, how can I see...
Oh, wow.
Good question for Jeff. How can I see players who could get drafted in June?
Oh, I'd like for the draft list for the upcoming
Yes.
entry draft. Easiest way to do that is to click on your home button, little house in the middle of the 5 buttons at the top left.
And then go to tests.
And then the NHL entry draft page, bottom right corner.
All right. I'm just taking a quick look here, and I want to look at the highest potential guys. We can see we have them pretty well scouted. As you remember, we also added a ton of scouts. But I'm just wanting to see if we're missing...
Yep.
It looks like our mid-Europe and Russia, we might need to... Oh, Swiss guy is...
And the other place I should mention that if you want to see the actual scouting lists, if you go to league scouting, you can see we don't have a final ranking yet, but the central scouting ranking, midterm ranking is there.
All right, we're going to add one more scout or 2 more scouts. We have the budget. Let's look for maybe... No, let's look by region. We want to look for like Europe. Did I go we don't want Finnish. Is there just a Swiss region? Or
Central Europe.
Okay, so being in the S's is not going to help me. Central Europe, here we go.
Yep.
Let's hire the Zarek Konoski.
Good name.
Absolutely. And Central Europe. 64-year-old Italian. No, that's not Italian. That's. Oh, yeah, it is Italian. Okay, I did get my flags right. Angus Zertel. Interesting name for an Italian.
Maybe his mother was Scottish.
Apparently. Should we add any more? They're all average. Well, maybe we'll add one more former USSR. We have Suleiman Mamedov. That is a great name. So we'll hire him. Alright. Oh, gotta go to my scouting department here. Some guys with no assignments, so we'll just AI make sure they have assignments. And just make that little tweak to make sure we are as scouted as much as possible, because one of the things I also did earlier on was, restack us up with some draft picks, which you could see in earlier videos if you go to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. And you can see all of our Red Wing streamed games. Alright, so we are up 2-1 now, I believe. 2-1.
Yep.
And so game 4 coming up. And Edmonton's got a 3-0 lead on San Jose. Oh, that's good.
Yep, Oilers actually finished third in the division this year, so San Jose's got home advantage there, but they're not doing much with it.
All right, let's see here, and sim through the game again, and we win 4-3. Okay, I'm gonna have to sim. We might have to sim everything here.
So you're gonna go all the way to the Stanley Cup this way.
If that's what we have to do, that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yep.
But all right. And okay.
Speaking of the Oilers, if anybody's wondering, Connor McDavid won the scoring race this year. 96 points, just 3 ahead of Matthews.
We will look at that right away. Okay, so this game was actually pretty dangerous. It was 3-1 after 2 periods.
Okay.
For the Leafs, and then we came back with 3 straight goals in the third period to win it.
Oh, so thank you for the collapse, Anderson.
Absolutely. Good job, guys. And we'll just take a look here and see if any series is over, and Boston beats Tampa Bay 4 straight.
And again, another upset. Tampa was actually the first place team in the Atlantic this year. So that's good news for us, because potentially I think we were third in the conference, so we got a chance to get home advantage next round if we can get out of this, and if I haven't just jinxed us by saying that.
Well, we're up 3-1, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Okay, so taking a quick look, Ovechkin led us with led the league with 47 goals. Ehlers had 44. Good for him. We have noticeably nobody on any stats list except for plus minus, where Cam Fowler is plus 39 leading. Brent Burns is number 5 at 31.
Now we got balanced scoring.
Oh, I take it back. Cam Fowler is also on shorthanded goals for 2.
Pretty good for a defenseman.
You know what? We also didn't do that, so let's take a quick look at our roster. Stats summary, regular season. Because I forgot to do this before, I was going to, so my apologies if you're watching. You can see Vladimir Tarasenko led us with 60 points in the regular season. Followed by Burns at 56, Kuznetsov at 53. Again, nobody major, but just lots of solid contributions.
Mozjakin, who we brought over from KHL, 38 years old, put up almost 50 points. Pretty good for a 40 rookie.
Absolutely. And you can see the big thing here, too, which really helped out. Our team is fairly split on average time on ice. I mean, the lowest guy who's playing consistently was Hornquist.
Yep.
And he averaged 12.24. So, I mean, that's pretty reasonable. Oh, Lucic was lowest, sorry, at 10.22.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. He might get traded this offseason. but we'll see. But we are going to have some salary issues here. So, okay, it is 3-1. Playing Detroit. Oh no, who got hurt?
Probably nobody too important.
Oh, Kuznetsov got hurt. Oh, with a bruised hip. He's day to day. Ooh, that stings. So that means Adam Lowry draws back into the lineup. And we're going to have to redo some lines. So Datsuk moves up to the first line. Mantha takes over the second line, which I'm okay with. Zetterberg is not going to be on that line, though. Tatar will be. We're going to move Afinatsu to that side. Hornquist moves up to play third line minutes. Leave Lucic down. Okay, I like that. As good as it can be. And let's see how we play the fourth game. And sim through, and we win 4-3. 4-3. We did
And
it.
we have beaten the Leafs in a playoff series finally by absolutely refusing to watch any of the games.
Adam Lowry comes in and gets the first Red Wings goal to tie the game in the first period. Good for you. Beautiful. That's what we need.
Definitely.
I'm so excited.
So now we can sit back and wait to see who we play in the second round. When's the last time we made it out of the first round of the playoffs? I think. Maybe we didn't. I think we made the second round in one of our Kings.
It's been
early Kings series.
I don't think we have done it in. We didn't do it in Toronto, and Detroit's not been going very well. So thank you, Gudu. Gudu is very happy to say good job. So thank you. I personally am just ecstatic. That is a huge win for us. We don't know who we're playing yet. Vancouver is on the prospect of blowing their lead. It's 3-2. Edmonton won, Chicago won, Winnipeg's up 3-2, Ottawa won, Carolina's up 3-2. Not many games left. And Vancouver wins 4-2. And Winnipeg wins 4-2. Kuznetsov is back soon. Well, let's hope he's ready to go for the next series. Washington wins, beating Carolina 4-3. And apparently Dougie Hamilton got hurt as well. But he's back. So we are playing Boston in round 2. And Ottawa plays Washington. Edmonton.
And the nice thing about having Boston, at least we've got the home advantage here, so if we can take advantage of that.
Edmonton, Vancouver, and Chicago, Winnipeg are the other games.
So we're actually guaranteed to get a Canadian team into the third round of the playoffs.
Yep. Kuznetsov is almost 100%, which means he's coming back. And sorry, Adam Lowry, you did a good job.
And you may want to take just a quick look before we start the next series at our first round stats and see who did the scoring for us in that
Absolutely.
win.
I will just readjust these lines again. If only there was a way to save these tactics.
Or say replace one position at a time.
Yes. If only there was a way to do that. Okay, so what's the best way for me to look at those stats? Go to my roster screen?
Yep, roster, and then just your stat summary, and you can switch down to playoffs from regular season.
Tarasenko leads it with 9 points. Kuznetsov had 7, Burns had 7, Mozikin had 5, Hornquist had 3, Datsuk had 3. Again, just overall
Oops.
even scoring. Every single person.
And the first line still, even with even scoring, the first line is still pretty much doing what they need to do. So, yeah, no complaints at all about that series.
Yeah, everybody got a point who played. That is, except for the goalies. So that's pretty impressive, I would have to say.
Yep.
Goody in the creative in the chat has a question for you, Jeff.
Oh, obviously we take we'll take a Vancouver Winnipeg Stanley Cup over Detroit winning, and obviously Vancouver, sure.
Oh, come on. Okay, it's versus the Bruins, so I can't watch this. I'm just gonna sim it again, and we lost 5-1.
Okay, so apparently this doesn't work against the Bruins. We're gonna have to change that up.
Well, what's the next game?
So maybe if we go back to watching the games against Boston, that'll instead of the anti-Leafs. Oh, obviously we take a
outshot. Nothing really went well there. Wow. I was taking a look at the defensive game ratings. Dougie Hamilton with a 42 defensive game rating.
Not too impressive.
Anthony Mantha, 35 defensive game rating. Whew. That stings. Where was Mantha playing? Second line. You're getting demoted to the third line. And see if that helps too. Alright. Ooh, that one stings. Winnipeg and Vancouver and Ottawa will take leads. So, go Canada, I guess?
Yeah. Actually going to get a Canadian Cup in this one? Wow.
Don't say that.
Yep, whoops. Now we won't.
Why would you say that? Why would you bring that up? Alright. I think I might have tweaked that wrong with having Athanasiou on the second line. I think making that one adjustment. Oh, it's we're switching months. Okay. So we have a new development report.
Yep.
And we can see everybody went up, which is great.
Nobody declining. It's nice to see, especially when we're carrying a couple of guys in their mid to late 30s, or no, just late 30s on the.
Oh, I forgot we picked up Cody Glass. All right. Veleno has moved up to 2.5 stars, so good for him.
Yeah, I think he's actually going to have a decent shot at making the team next year.
2.5 stars, he absolutely will.
Yeah. Particularly if we've got to move some guys out to clear some salary.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So we're looking here. And okay, Athanasiou moves up to second line. Mantha moves down to third line. I like everything else going on here, so play this game versus Boston. We're going to watch part of it this time. We'll see what happens. And their first shot on goal, 31 seconds into the game, they score. This was a mistake, Jeff.
It's not over yet.
But Fowler gets ties it up, 13-34.
What did I tell you?
7 minutes in, so good, excellent. And then Brent Burns scores to make it 2-1 for us. Excellent. And we're out shooting them 14-3, but now it's 17-11 by the end of the period. And so we'll start simming through the second period. And Datsuk buries to make it 3-1 for us. Which is great and good to hear. But then Clark MacArthur scores to make it 3-2. We're out shooting them 31-17 at the end of the second period.
But only up by a goal.
Yes. Tuukka Rask. Oh, Cam Fowler comes down, scores a second goal of the game, and makes it 4-2. And we're at 40 shots, 40 on our 42nd shot on net. Thomas Tatar scores to make it 5-2, assisted by Dougie Hamilton and Milan Lucic. But then Ryan Fitzgerald scores to make it 5-3 with just over 5 minutes left to keep it interesting. And game ends. We win.
So we're even, but we lost home ice advantage.
Well, that's okay. Take the win. Cam Fowler's number 1. And Henrik Zetterberg is converted to center. Okay. Now, it's just about time to take over the Belarusians. Should we wait or should we just let it go?
I think we're at the point we should probably just be concentrating on Detroit from here on in. So if you want to resign from that,
All right.
see, I'm confident we're going to win this series and get at least another playoff round out of this. So we don't really need to go to the World Championships.
All right. We are going to resign from the national team. Goodbye, national team.
And we'll see if we can maybe get an offer in the off season for somebody else.
Yes. I was half scared that I accidentally resigned from Detroit.
That would have been embarrassing. In the second round of the playoffs, yeah, I think I'll quit now.
I'm done. I can't put up with this anymore. Goodbye. But
Can't handle the stress.
all right, game 3 in Boston. In Boston. And we'll start speeding through it. Killed off a penalty. We're getting outshot, but then we take it back over, and it's back and forth. We are actually... Okay, Boston's power play is badly better than our penalty kill, so we do not need to take any penalties. But we score the first goal of the game. Dougie Hamilton scores, assisted by Cam Fowler and Pavel Datsyuk, with 11:33 on the clock in the second period to take a 1-0 lead. And we are getting outshot 22-21 at the end of the second period, 1-0. Jeff, did you see Sam Bennett signed tonight?
No, I didn't.
2-year bridge deal for about $3.9 million, I think, for 2 years, something like that.
No, not too bad.
Oh,
It's fun. It's funny because we just made a change for FHM4 to make the bridge deals a little rarer because they haven't been getting used as often.
yeah,
And now soon right after we do that, somebody signs one.
of course. Patrice Bergeron comes out as the extra skater, but that lets Ollie Matta score an empty netter with 38 seconds left, and the Detroit Red Wings have won Game 3. And
So up 2-1, and we might get through this one.
Jeff, why? You're killing me with this.
I just said might. I didn't say it. I didn't definitely say we're going to.
Toffoli resumes skating. Could we be getting a reinforcement?
I wouldn't count on it. He was 1 to 2 months away at the start of the playoffs.
Edmonton, McDavid got hurt. Let's just take a quick look at Tyler Toffoli. He is 1 to 2 weeks now. 1 to 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. So he's recovering faster than expected. That's pretty good news.
That would be a nice little add me on late in season.
Yeah, if we can.
Take a quick look at the standings here to look at playoffs. We can see Vancouver's up 3-0 on Edmonton. Wow. Winnipeg's up 3-0 on Chicago. And 2-1 Ottawa and 2-1 us.
So we're going to get a Vancouver-Winnipeg semifinal.
As Vancouver loses 3 straight. And the World Championships start today. Good luck.
See, we got in that situation. We got to hope for the Canucks to win, because if we somehow get through the finals as Detroit, I know if Winnipeg's there, you're just going to throw the series.
Okay, well, Belarus, we would have been against the United States, Finland, Russia, Slovakia, Latvia, Norway, and South Korea.
It's not that tough of a group.
Ugh,
South Korea actually made the World Championships. Wow.
apparently. All right, play this game versus Boston. Boston. We'll see how it goes.
You got to watch it.
Quickly out shooting them. But they score the first goal with 3:32 left in the first period. Jake DeBrusk, assisted by Tori Krug and Matt Bolesky. Oh, they're controlling some of the play, so we kind of need to turn that around the second period. And we do. Tarasenko gets his 4th goal of the playoffs, unassisted. Good job. Ties it up 1-1. Shots are 17-16 us. And the captain, Henrik Zetterberg, comes through with 50 seconds left in the second period to make it 2-0, assisted by Patrick Hornquist and Ollie Mata. Excellent.
Looking good.
So it's 2-1 at the end of 2.
Yeah.
Playing the third
You got to
period.
like that veteran playoff pressure and experience.
Oh, Boston scores. Saku Menelainen, assisted by Tori Krug and Kevin Shattenkirk. Whew. So 2-2, 5 minutes left, and we are headed to overtime. Dun, dun, dun. At least we'll beat them in the shootout, right, Jeff? Right?
Fortunately, none of those. I think they're a little younger than us, so hopefully we don't wear down.
Oh, 5 minutes in, Saku Menelainen, with his second goal of the game, beats us. 3-2 Boston win.
Yes. Actually, I had to look him up. He was a 4th rounder for Nashville in 2013, and he never got a contract. Wound up playing in the KHL for a while. Signed with the Rangers, and then whether they traded him to Boston.
Well,
Basically, a guy that started the season before last in the ECHL just beat us.
yeah, well, you know what? It happens. And because of you, Vancouver won 4-0. And
of course.
Winnipeg lost a game. Ottawa went up 3-1, and we're now 2-2.
Should mention also that Ottawa, since they're through to the second round, they beat the defending champion Rangers, so no repeat cup winner this year.
Yeah. All right. Another game versus Boston here. Matt Murray's down to 1 fire.
That's not great. Don't really want him cooling off right now,
No.
particularly when Rask is the other goalie.
And at the end of the first period, we've been outshot 15-6, but it is 0-0. Continuing the play.
Yeah. 3-game series at this point.
And Athanasiou scores 9:28 on the clock on our 12th shot on net, assisted by Larkin and Datsuk. Good job, Athanasiou. But then Matt Murray immediately lets a goal in. TJ Yoshi scores to tie it up 1-1.
Ouch. Oshie's with the Bruins now. They traded him for Brad Marchand
But
near the trading deadline.
2:01 left in the second period, and Pavel Datsuk scores. Third goal of the playoffs.
40 years old.
40-year-old man.
Still lights it up in the playoff, though. Yep.
2-1 at the end of 2 periods. We're getting outshot 24-14, so it'd be kind of nice if we can kick this up a little bit. But Dylan Larkin, just over a minute in, comes down, slams that puck home, and we're up.
And he hasn't been doing that much playoffs so far. Finally decided to pick it up at the right time.
First goal, assisted by none other than Pavel Datsuk. And we battle back and forth. And on their 31st shot on net, Boston pulls within 1. A little over 6 minutes left. Ryan Donato scores. Assisted by TJ Oshie and Kevin Shattenkirk. And then Boston scores again. Patish Bergeron ties the game with 4:30 left.
Okay, so I think we need to be going to a little bit more defensive tactics late in the game.
No.
A little too late to switch that over now, but
we're in overtime now.
If we've got a 2-goal lead late in the third again, we're
killing a penalty.
Uh-oh.
We killed the penalty off. They killed the penalty off. They had a 5-on-3. And the first overtime ends, and we continue. Getting outshot now, 45-27. Woof.
So Murray's pretty much holding us in this one.
Yes, he is. 52, 54 shots, 55 shots, 58 shots, 59 shots. 67 shots at the end of 2 periods, 2 overtime periods. We only have 31, but we are still in this. Double.
See, they're going to be tired from shooting. That's the strategy. We're wearing them down like Mayweather McGregor.
I just should no. We're gonna just sim this out until it happens. Dougie Hamilton scores it in triple overtime. Boston, 68 shots on net to our 32. Matt Murray better be the number 1 star. Otherwise, I don't.
Oh, did you give it to Murray though, or did you give it to Hamilton for getting the winner?
I haven't clicked it yet. I'm so pumped up right now. Dougie Hamilton gets his 3rd goal of the postseason, assisted by none other than Milan Lucic and Nico Hischier. They didn't even give Matt Murray a star. Pavel Datsyuk got number 1, Oshie got 2, and Athanasiou got 3rd star.
Well, see, Datsyuk just deserves first star for living till the end of the game at 40 years old. Triple overtime.
Matt Murray, game rating of 99. Shots. 956 save percentage. Like, the dude literally was a brick wall.
Definitely should get a heat rating increase out of that, so he'll be a little hotter going into the next game. And
Winnipeg advanced.
Winnipeg, Vancouver in the Western Final.
I can't believe that. Ottawa also advanced, so there has a possibility for an all-Canadian final.
So basically, we're going to I like that. We wind up being the one thing that could stand in the way of a Canadian Stanley Cup.
Don't say that. Boston's still here. We're up
by
1 game. Game 6.
This is where all the karma is leading up to. We're gonna.
All right.
We'll finally win, and we'll be doing it. In doing so, we'll screw up the first Canadian Cup in 20 years.
I am changing a couple of our defensemen to shut down defensemen. And by some of them, I mean all of them. To help balance out our defensive play.
Okay, just hope you're not going to that too early.
It's our second tactic. All right, continuing. Play game. Okay, before we do that, no. We're just going to do this. First period. We're being badly outshot, but Kuznetsov scores to tie it up on shots. Kuznetsov with his first goal of the game, 3rd goal of the postseason, assisted by Brent Burns and 38-year-old Sergei Mozikin to make it 1-0. Period ends 1-0, outshooting them 10-9. And less than a minute into the period, Evgeny Kuznetsov grabs the puck, skates down the ice, and buries his 2nd goal of the game. Assisted by Mozikin and Tarasenko. Excellent. But then TJ Oshie runs right down the ice and scores. Guru thinks I can somehow... and Bergeron scores to make it 2-2. I can't watch this anymore.
And we blow another lead.
But Then Athanasu scores with just over 10 minutes left to make it 3-2. We are badly outshooting them, actually. 24-17. End of the period, 25-18 us. 1 goal lead. Play in the third period. Matt Murray lets a shot in from David Craigie with just over 9 minutes left, and it's 3-3. And just like every
Another
other
close
game,
one.
we're going to an overtime period. Shots are 30-30. Breathe.
Yeah. At least we're not trying to kill Murray here this time. Playing a little bit better defensively.
Yeah, we had a 5-on-3, couldn't score. But Milan Lucic comes through in the clutch. I love Milan Lucic. He buries the winner.
And he beats the Bruins.
Beats the Bruins.
Not only beats the Bruins, but that's a guy you want to get rid of in the offseason.
Absolutely. He's building his trade value. We get outshot 34-32, but we win 4-3. This is amazing. Amazing. And so now we have Washington. We have Winnipeg and Vancouver in the West Final. Detroit versus Ottawa in the East Final.
And the really good news is Ottawa was literally the last seed in the Eastern Conference, so we're getting the easiest possible opponent for this series.
All right, let's just take a quick look at Ottawa's roster here because we can. Their goaltending, well, they have a 1.5-star goalie, Curtis McElhinney, but he's on 4 fires, so he's probably the guy starting over 37-year-old Craig Anderson.
Yeah, obviously Carlson's still there. And yeah, it looks a lot like the current Senators team. Haven't changed over a lot there, have they?
Nope.
They picked up
Thomas Vanek.
Thomas Vanek.
Did we send him there?
No, we
Washington.
we sent him to Washington when we got Kuznetsov, and he signed as a free agent in Ottawa.
All right, then. Curtis Lazar is still there, which is not the case. But yeah, pretty much kind of the same team. Whew, all right. Now the question here, Jeff, I'm sitting here on the screen waiting. To sim or not to sim?
Okay, let's approach this scientifically. Yeah, the last time we played an Ontario team, it was better not. It was better to sim the games. So I say we sim.
Okay, just see here.
So we got because we're going to be playing Canadian teams the whole way. As soon as we tried simming against an American team, we didn't do so well.
The good
So
news
that's obviously the key.
Good news is on the head-to-heads. The last few games we played, we beat them. So sim game, and we lose 2-1.
Okay, so obviously there was nothing at all to that theory.
Right.
Defensive game. You want to change back some of those guys you switched to
Oh, I didn't
shut down defensemen.
I did that in the game, so they're not.
Oh, you did that in the lineup. Oh, okay.
All right, we'll play this next bit of the game and see how it goes.
Yeah, got a few minutes left.
All right, play game. And we scored. Chudnedov. Maxim Chudnedov gets his first goal. The playoffs. Assisted by Hamilton and Zetterberg. 1-0 us.
Yeah, another one of our Russian signings in the off season.
Tarasenko
It's actually
scores.
an old Bruins pick.
2-0.
Never
us.
came over.
End of the first period, 2-0. Outshot them 16-5 in the. But then, of course, Erik Karlsson makes it 2-1.
Yeah, got to figure out how to shut him down.
Well, the biggest thing. Oh, and then Derek Brassard scores it to tie it up 2-2
Ouch.
at the end of 2. Shots are 23-22 for us. The biggest thing is they got a hot goalie, which is always tough to beat.
Yeah, even though it's a 35-year-old backup.
40-year-old Pavel Datsyuk comes through with just over 2 minutes left, scoring a goal, assisted by 38-year-old Henrik Zetterberg. And all is right in the world as Detroit ties her up 1-1.
Yeah. Turn the clock back about 10 years or so.
And we are happy and excited. Vancouver's up 2-0 on Winnipeg. And we play again. And let's just get right into her. Sim to the end of the period. And we score. Nico Hischier gets his first goal of the series, assisted by Tatar and Schultz, make it 1-0 on our third shot in the game. Oh, Ottawa's actually badly out shooting us. 18-8 at the end of the first period. But Mozikin scores to start the second period, and it's 2-0 us. Gotta love it. Datsyuk, old man Datsyuk, picks up another goal. 3-0 us. And Dylan Larkin comes through to make it 4-0.
Okay, cruising now.
But then Christian Wolin scores to make it 4-1.
Now ruined the shutout, but I still think we're getting out of this one.
Bobby Ryan scores to make it 4-2. What are you doing to me, Jeff?
No. We're fine.
But
Trust me.
Athanasiou comes through, assisted by Dylan Larkin and Pavel Datsyuk to make it 5-2. And 5-2 at the end of two periods. We're getting a shot 28-20. And just over a minute in, Craig Smith buries a goal to make it 5-3. Keeping you nervous.
No. Let's not make this interesting. Yeah.
Mark Stone scores to make it 5-4. Just
Ouch.
under 13 minutes left. And Patrick Hornquist goes off hurt with a medium facial cut. Seriously injured. But Mozikin, just over 8 minutes left, gets a second goal of the game to give us back our 2-goal cushion. And then Justin Schultz goes, no, I'm getting in on this too, and gets the 7th goal of the game. They pulled and put Craig Anderson in. We win, despite getting outshot 40-33. We win 7-4.
Yep. Questionable goaltending in Ottawa finally caught up with them. And how's our other series going, by the way?
3-0 Vancouver. 3-0 Vancouver.
There you go. So.
Oh, Henrik Sedin hurt, out 4 months.
Oh, wow. Although I think at this point he's probably only their third-line center or so. I don't think Daniel's even with the team anymore.
Yeah, I think they traded him at the trade deadline. I kind of laughed at that. So Hornquist comes out, and Adam Lowry comes in. I'm going to move Zetterberg over to the wing and put Adam Lowry as a center. Let's take a quick look.
Yeah, they did trade him. Oh, no, they didn't trade him at the trade deadline. He was signed with the Islanders in the off-season.
Oh, okay. Nico Hischier is going to go play that. Hischier, let's go to the point. Okay, we got all those covered, so that's good. And we'll see how this goes. Toffoli is ready for full contact. Could be back just in time for the Stanley Cup final.
Not bad timing.
No, and they're starting Craig Anderson. All right.
They do switch.
They did switch. And to welcome Craig Anderson, Sergei Mozikin scores just under 2 minutes into the game. And it's 1-0 us. But then Colin White scores unassisted to make it 1-1. Tied 1-1 at the end of the first period. We're getting outshot 11-5 though. Makes me a little nervous. We kind of balance the shots back. That's 15-12 for Ottawa. It's 1-1 at the end of 2. But Tarasenko comes through, scores, and hurts Craig Smith. So
All in one play.
all in one play. So good for Vladimir Tarasenko. 2-1 us. And you took out an opponent. But Sergei Mozikin, the 38-year-old Russian, goes, I like this NHL game. I want to help us. Buries the third goal. We're up 3-1. 2-goal cushion. Under 5 minutes left. And we squeeze out a victory. 29-20 for shots. We win 3-1. Thank you, Sergei Mozikin. 2 goals, 1 assist. He is crushing it.
Yeah, definitely not a bad signing in the offseason.
No, and Vancouver sweeps the Jets 7-5 in Game 4. Pooh.
Yeah, heading for the big Detroit-Vancouver final.
Yeah. Very big. Created in the chat says, this is our year. So Toffoli is basically ready to come back, but I'm going to hold him out. We're playing well.
Yeah, wait until he gets completely healthy,
So let's go.
and he'll be well rested for the final.
The question is who's coming out of the lineup. Carlson scores to make it 1-0 for Ottawa. Quickly, at the end of the first period, we're outshooting them 9-6, but we're down 1-0. Ottawa's throwing everything they got, but Tarasenko buries it, assisted by none other than Sergei Mozikin to make it 1-1. And then Brent Burns goes, "All right, guys, I want in on this." Scores a goal, makes it 2-1. Gotta love it. Again, where are we getting scoring? Scoring's coming from all over. Period 3. Quickly playing. And under 10 minutes left. 1 minute left. And we win! A 2-1 win. I was shooting them 22-21.
Vancouver, Detroit in the finals.
Things you thought you'd never hear. So
Kind of wish we were coaching the other team.
Detroit Red Wings have went from last place in the league to first place. Or not first place, to the Stanley Cup
Not
Finals.
to the finals. We didn't do it. We were a little far back from first, but
We
we're
haven't
making
won
up
the
for
cup
that in
yet.
the playoffs.
We haven't won the cup yet. Also,
35-point regular season improvement.
Actually, I just got to check this too. If you remember, St. Louis wouldn't trade us back our first round pick, but we got theirs instead. St. Louis finished at 41-36 for 87 points. So we might have a top 10 pick. Or very close to it.
41, 30,
Top 12 pick at least.
Yeah, top half.
And then we have who was the Phillies pick as well. So
we're going to keep loading up.
yeah. All right. Toffoli's back, as would be. No, Hornquist is still hurt. So we're going to bring Toffoli onto the active roster.
I'll try to be neutral, Gudu. He's asking if I'm going to be a neutral fan in this series with the Canucks.
I'm moving Hornquist to the list. Adam Lowry, unfortunately, is drawing out because we are bringing Toffoli in. Adam Lowry, you were a great waiver pickup. And have performed very admirably. Alright. So our lines now are Mozikin, Kuznetsov, Tarasenko, Larkin, Datsuk, Toffoli, Mantha, Hishire, Tatar, Athanasiou, Zetterberg, Lucic. All right. We're going to sim game 1. I can't look. And we win 1-0. Ooh, Tarasenko scores just over halfway into the first period. A power play goal.
And we're actually past our hour now, so we should probably wrap it up there and leave the dramatic conclusion for
No.
what might be one of our... No, you want to keep going?
We are finishing this right now.
Okay.
Unless it goes to game 7.
Oh, then you're going to leave it to next week.
Then we'll see. Well, again, Jeff, how much time do we have left, really? Let's be honest.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close. I think we're going to be able to start talking about FHM4 pretty soon. We're just getting some approvals from the NHL. That's going pretty well so far, so almost there.
All right, game versus Vancouver again. First one worked. We're going to sim, and 1-0 win again! Vancouver held it out until the third period, but Brent Burns scores again on the power play to make it 2-0. We outshot them 27-14. Whew. I'm shaking here, Jeff. I'm shaking here. All right. Do you think we could actually do this?
Not looking too bad so far. Just kind of wish it wasn't against Vancouver.
I'd also like to point out it's not impossible that we win the cup in May. That's crazy too. Matt Murray is up to 3
moved through this really quickly.
All right, we're gonna just sim this game again. Sim this game in. Oh, Vancouver stomped us. 10-3.
Ouch. Just pushed it a little too far, so that'll knock down Murray's heat rating a little bit.
Oh, wow.
He's cooled off.
Yeah, he's down to 10-3. Wow. Patrick Hornquist is ready to get back to the active roster, which means we have to waive somebody. So we're waving goodbye to the guys whose name I can't say. The question is, does Hornquist come in for anybody? He was playing well. Do we take Milan Lucic out?
I don't think so.
10-1 win. Or 10-3 loss.
Yeah, I think if you have to, maybe leave Hornquist out.
He's sitting out right now. I'm just... Alright. Alright, let's play this game. Sim to the end of the first period. Tell me how it's going. Shots are staying even. Penalties both ways. We got 5-on-3, but we kept it together. And Owen Tippett scores for Vancouver, making it 1-0 Vancouver. At the end of the first period, outshot 15-9. And Adam Ruzitsky scores unassisted. 2-0 Vancouver. But Kuznetsov scores to make it 2-1 with 1:25 left. And so 2-1 going into the third. But we cannot score and we lose the game 2-1. And now the series is tied 2-2. Oh, well, you know what? Even if we do end up, things don't end up going quite as well for us, that's okay. We're playing pretty well. I don't know what else to do here. Maybe I should look at the strategies here really quickly. Change a couple tactics.
No, 3 games left to do it, so.
Alright. Sim to the end of the first period, and we're out shooting them, but then they came back. Tyler Toffoli gets his first goal of the postseason. This is by Datsuk and Mozikin to make it 1-0, but then Murray decided to let a goal in from probably center ice because that happened so quick, and it's 1-1.
It was actually Toffoli's first goal as a Red Wing.
Excellent. And we play quickly through the second period. We're out shooting Vancouver 21-13, so that's good. But Vancouver takes the lead thanks to Carl Alsner. It's 2-1. 18 minutes left in the game. And then Kadri scores. I am hurt. It's 3-1. I am saddened. We're now down 3-2. Alright, there's one thing left to do. Patrick Hornquist is drawing back into the lineup.
Yep, pretty much have to do something here to change it up.
Nando Eggberger has moved up to 1.5 stars. Good. Good. Let's see now. Goodbye, Lucic. Hello, Patrick Hornquist. Yes, we are way over time, but we have to see how this ends. Can't leave it. Let's just see how it goes. Play game. And Vancouver scores 40 seconds into the game to make it 1-0. Uh-oh. And then Tanev scores to make it 2-0. We pile on some
I've
more
seen the
shots.
Canucks blow Stanley Cups before, so I'm not wouldn't count us out at this point.
I'm gonna bet Jeff
Sorry?
code in that Vancouver has to win the cup. It's 2-0 at the end of 2 periods, and we're gonna move this.
No, you need to figure out how to turn it around here. This is all on you.
Listen, I turned this team around from nothing. Let's be honest here. And it's 3-0 immediately. So, I think I can officially say we've
How
had a
did
really
it
good run
continue to
here,
go?
but it's over. We did not win the cup.
That's
Patrick
good.
Hornquist scores to prove that it was worth putting him back in the lineup to make it 3-1. But just not going to work for us.
Yeah, no, I'm not giving him any up now. He got himself into this.
He put code in to make sure Vancouver could win.
No.
I'm 90% sure of this right now.
Nope.
2 second goals scored by Tarasenko. 3-2.
No, might get back in it. You open it up a little bit more.
Then Sutter scores to make it 4-2. Because as soon as Jeff says something, they score. It's funny how that works, huh?
It's voice activated. Yeah, that's it.
Huh. The more we know, the more we know. But it's just, our luck might just run out here. But the good news is we are set up for success. Well, Tatar buries it to make it 4-3 with 4 minutes left. But I'm not exactly expecting
You never know.
anything to happen here. Let's slow it down to just fast to watch it a little better. But not looking good. Two minutes and 20 seconds left. And they're controlling the puck in the Detroit zone. Not a good look.
Yeah, got to get out of there and get the goalie out.
And we can't seem to get it out of our end. No, there it got out of the end. Minute 25 left. And there's the dagger. Jacob Stukel? Jacob Stukel
Yep.
scores to put the final dagger in our hearts.
So, after 49 years in the league, because nobody keeps the Canucks from winning a Stanley Cup 50 years in a row.
Just to make this very interesting, 16 seconds left. Tarasenko scores his second goal. So 16 seconds left.
I don't think it's going to help.
Toffoli shot, but it was saved. And that's it. The game.
They'd make for a dramatic finish, though.
5.
And Vancouver finally wins the Stanley Cup.
I am sad,
So-
but at the same time I can look at this and go, we had a successful season.
So logically, we need to play as Vancouver in our M4 game.
No, that defies logic.
It was worth a try.
So, I guess I'll start the wrap up now because we are way over time. So, thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. Our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, where you can find every stream we've ever done. If you want to talk to us about Franchise Hockey Manager, come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner. That'll bring you to our official forums. Or you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. Our Twitter, which is @FranchiseHockey. And I think that's about it. Jeff, I'm really sad we lost.
I'm somewhat sad we lost.
Yeah. It happened.
Yep. We will be back next week with the 1970s LA Kings, who are, hopefully we can get out of the first round of the playoffs
Yeah.
this time around, or at least we're kind of in a train wreck of a season right now. At least turn that around and maybe even make the playoffs. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But until then, I think we're done, and we will hopefully be getting some FHM4 news to you very soon. Testing is going pretty well. Extremely busy right now. I am not sleeping a whole lot at the moment, and probably won't be for the next month or so, but we're getting closer and closer.
Yeah. So thank you very much for tuning in again, and we'll see you all again next week.